Welcome to the Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi everybody, I'm Ron Brewington and welcome to the Actor's Choice, brought to you by Photography is an Art, Harvey Brandman, Master Photographer, located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard in Burbank, California. And attorney Ron Irwin's 5150 The Book. And author Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. And State Farm agent Carla Green, who says, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Rolling.
One of you is Pinky.
Bitch, you better back up before you get your ass whipped.
I'll make you look like a sick faggot.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we have some special guests. One of them is a veteran actress. The other is a celebrity photographer. Our first guest was born in Florida and raised in Newark, New Jersey. Her first job was with the NAACP, then she started modeling and later worked at the Playboy Club as a bunny. Then she started acting, and the rest is history. You just saw in the 1964 Black Belt Jones, one of the many films she's been seen in. She kicked a little butt in that picture, didn't she? Please welcome Gloria Hendry. Gloria, thank you so much for being here today. My goodness, glad to have you. Now, you've been around for a long time, a lot of times.
Rephrase that.
You've been around for a while.
Thank you.
Oh, don't forget, brother, you can get it whipped today. Ain't gonna be no mess up in here. And because you've been in 1968, you got your first IMDb actor credit in a movie called For Love of Ivy with Sidney Poitier. Can you tell us about that? What do you remember about it?
Sidney Poitier, I tell you, he became my friend after that. I mean, he was such a jewel on the set. And he was my buddy, my confidant for many years after that. I used to stop by his office and say, oh, Sidney, what am I going to do? I went out on this audition and no. He would just console me. He would tell me what I needed to do for the audition. He said, that's just how it is. I mean, he was such a jewel. And when I ran into him one day, we were over at the Academy, and they were honoring him, and they put my seat right next to his. And as he walked in, we both screamed and hollered. We hadn't seen each other in years.
Wow. 90 years old now, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And he was such a jewel. He still is a jewel and a gentle soul.
Yes.
You know?
90 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still looking good. Still looking good.
Yes.
Women are whistling at him like this.
And Abby Lincoln.
Abby
Lincoln, who was my, also my neighbor. She lived right around the corner from me on Central Park West.
Yes.
And I lived on 97th Street in Central Park West, right across the street from Central Park. And Abby was in that film too. She was Ivy.
Right, she was the Ivy.
Yeah.
I understand the synopsis of the show was a lady who was trying to meet somebody. The family wanted to meet somebody.
Right, exactly. And she was a maid.
And she was a maid.
You know, she
many years.
Oh, she became my friend. As a matter of fact, she introduced me to my husband.
Get out of here.
Unbeknownst to her.
Go ahead.
I was looking for an arranger and pianist back in the 70s, and she said, my pianist and arranger is Phil Wright. I said, okay. When I met him, I came to the studio right here in California, and when I walked into his studio, my heart dropped down to my shoes. I said, let me out of here, because this is not good. This is absolutely not, whatever this feeling is, it's not good. And my shoulder strap fell off my dress, and he pushed it up. My whole body shook. I said, oh, Lord. I said, excuse me, I don't feel so good. So I left.
And he's married to you now?
Yeah, we've been married. We've been together 42 years.
Woo. Wow.
Right. We never left each other's side, you know, whatever that means.
And
believe me, I'm still trying to figure it out.
God bless you.
He still excites me.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's terrible.
Let's keep this clean. It was in the early 1970s. You had a few movies after Love of Ivy, and then in 1973 came a role that puts you on the map when you portrayed the Bond girl, Rosie Carver, in Live and Let Die. Wow.
Yeah, that was something else.
Yeah. You ever think you'd ever become a Bond girl?
Well, listen, back in the day, that was the 8th Bond.
Right.
And I had never seen a Bond movie in my life.
Gotcha.
And that was also the beginning of, around that time of beginning of independent filmmaking.
Okay.
And I had done Black Caesar with Fred Williamson.
Fred Williamson.
The Hammer.
The Hammer. Put the hammer
And
down.
I was also getting ready to do with...
And Margaret Avery, too.
Yeah, no, she did Hell Up in Harlem.
Okay, okay.
That was the sequel, and
Okay.
so did I.
Okay.
Yeah. And also I was up for, I did Hitman with Bernie Casey. I was supposed to be starring with Bernie Casey in Hitman right after that. But I got a phone call from my manager in New York. He said, Gloria, they want to see you for the Bond movie. I said, Bond movie? You're kidding. He said, yeah. And I said, I'm in California, because I flew to California in September, just
Right.
temporarily. But I was getting work. The first week I was there, I got a co-starring role with Fred Williamson in Black Caesar, which is now a Turner classic. Who would have thought? Right? and also Black Belt Jones is a Turner classic. But get back to say that I flew back to New York to audition and saw Harry Salzman. He said, how quick can we pick you up and to take you to New Orleans to see Guy Hamilton for Live and Let Die? And I went, of course, an actress always says, or actor, yes. I'll be ready, because I still have my New York apartment at Park West Village. So they picked me up in a limousine. I went, oops. But I was also a bunny. I was also a Playboy bunny as well. I took a sabbatical from the New York Playboy Club on 59th Street between 5th and Madison.
Gotcha.
I was there for about 6.5 years and, searching out, because they told us, make a long story short, we had to have another career going. So they always helped us out, because we possibly would not become the next, time goes by, you're not the next door look.
Right.
So I was out there hunting, and that's when I took a sabbatical in September. Anyway, right back to say I flew into New Orleans, and they picked me up in a limousine. First class, I never flew first class now. So they picked me up in a limousine and took me to the set in the French Quarter, and I met Guy Hamilton. And then all of a sudden, the Saint walks in, who is Roger Moore, and I'm like, oh my God, this is really happening. So they said you would like to come to the set. I went to the set, and after that, we had dinner, and he said, would you like to stay over? I said, no. You know why, gentlemen. I'm not crazy. I'm not home, right? And I didn't have enough money to fly myself if I wanted to walk out. So anyway, make a long story short, I said, no, I'll go back, and thank you very much. He said, well, we're still looking. So I flew back to California, and I took the next thing smoking, because I had Hitman with Bernie Casey, starring in that. Well, I was home probably 2 weeks before Hitman, and they said, you got the part. What? I never read one line. What? I got the part, and they said, well, you better get your passport together. I didn't have a passport. And then also, you better get your Gooba Globulin shot, all of that.
Yes.
So I had to rush out of here and head to New Orleans, and there I was, 3 months working on Live and Let Die.
Wow.
And today it's still following me. I'm like, damn. They're gone. And have watched Harry Salzman's children grow up, and Cubby Broccoli's children grow up.
Oh, yes.
And met up with them in London when they had the memorabilia for the memorial service for Roger Moore. And they are now grown.
Yes.
Grandmothers and grandfathers, shut up. Don't you say one word to me. Don't you say not teen, you understand?
Gloria was in that film that you made history by becoming the first African-American woman to become romantically involved with 007, and you two kissed. Now we have a short scene from that movie. Roll it.
James, you don't know what finding you has meant to me.
Oh, I can imagine. And you've no idea what finding this has meant to me. You do know what the Queen of Cups means in an upside-down position. A deceitful, perverse woman, a liar, a cheat, and I'd like some answers now.
Wow.
Please.
What a scene. Brings back memories, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know, Dorothy Dandridge did a wonderful film. She did a number of films where she, back in the day, in the 40s, what is it, Machow and the segregation, etc., and Lena Horne and all of that wonderful stuff. So I was not the first to kiss another hue or a Caucasian or a white person.
Right.
I was not the first. So, you know,
Yes.
I mean, let's get this stuff straight. I know, you know, when I first started the industry, I hardly knew anything about who was before me, other than, you know, those movies, but back in the day.
Right.
And because I admired Lena Horne, you know, excuse
Yes.
me, I just go back a little further than a lot of people think. But you better not say nothing. So I wasn't the first. But
Gotcha.
it was treated like I was, you
Right.
know. And a matter of fact, I was a bunny. So I was around international people,
Right.
French, German,
Right.
Polish, Swedish, Latino, Brazil, Mexican, I mean, Cuban, Puerto Ricans. I mean, Playboy Club had a VIP room. They spoke all languages
Yes.
in the VIP room.
Right.
And it was about 150 bunnies a day.
Right.
And we were all buddies. We changed clothes. We were in the nude among each other. And we wore skimpy costumes, and we made doggone very good money. And back in the day, in the 60s, it was very much frowned upon.
Oh, yes.
You know, but the money,
Yeah.
we were making about $2,000 in cash a week.
Wow. Now,
$1,500 to $2,000. And a
Okay.
good salary was $30,000 a year. So you can imagine.
$30,000.
A good salary in the
that'll
60s
that'll
was
get me into
30.
college these
No.
days.
I'm just trying to say,
Yes.
$30,000 in the 60s was good money.
Yes.
Today it's nothing.
It's nothing. That's what I'm saying.
poverty.
It's nothing. It's
But
nothing.
that was good money. But we were making well past that.
Yes. It's interesting because there was a lot of reaction to that scene, particularly in South Africa. Can you tell us about that?
Oh yeah, they not just South Africa, in the South too. They and my fans told me that they blanked it out, and anything with my name up there, they took it off.
Wow. I mean, you're just an actress doing your job.
Doing my job, and not only that, just to run back to Roger and I, our friendship. His room was right next to mine with his family.
Right.
And Guy Hamilton was right next to that room with his family. I was in the middle.
Right.
I snuck out every night. I fell in love with a person from Jamaica.
Wow. Wow.
I had a blast. But to make a long story short, that kiss, I had eaten garlic the night before on purpose. And as you see, Roger's looking at me like this, and he's saying underneath his breath, "You're lucky my wife is Italian." As I'm kissing him, he's like, with that look on his face, that's a piece of it, you know.
He said he had
My
garlic.
wife is Italian.
Garlic breath.
And he just threw out his line. I'm like, yeah, and I say, gotcha.
Wow.
Oh, we were friends, and we swam back and forth. Every morning we went swimming. I swim, and he was swimming that way, and I was swimming that way.
Right.
Before we went to work every day.
Another name came up. You and I spoke about that. Trina Parks.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Trina Parks and I go back to the 60s. As a matter of fact, we were part of a Black Beauty Agency when at that time there was no white agencies that represented us.
Right.
And we broke all kinds of color lines, modeling, commercials. It was very few of us that were doing commercials and modeling back in the day. And Helen Williams was the first woman of color to be on the cover of Vogue. And that's long before the other young ladies came along. And Beverly Valdez, golly, the other ladies, right now it just escapes me.
Right.
But we were not represented by white agencies. We could be represented by, and that was the Black Beauty Agency, and before that was, golly, right now it just skips my mind, but it'll come to me. It'll come to me. So yes, and it was a hell of a time during that time, and also doing films. I did a number of films before that,
Yes.
but they were not union. You know, Silver Lady and a number of them before that time.
Gotcha.
And I don't know where those films are, but I did at least 4 or 5 before that, but they weren't union. And the first union one to get me in was For Love of Ivy.
Right.
And I got that through the Playboy Club.
Right.
The Playboy Club, the casting director was there, along with Daniel Mann. That was For Love of Ivy. For Love of Ivy with Daniel Mann. And that's how I got it. They said, would you like to be in a movie? I said, yeah, but speak to the bunny mother.
You're right,
And I never looked back
that.
since. And I got For Love of Ivy
Mm-hmm.
from that. Yeah, and then I did Across 110th Street, which was another movie. It was Union with Anthony Quinn. And I remember doing that audition. It was in the nude.
Yes.
Never forget that, baby.
Yes.
With Antonio Franciosa.
Franciosa. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Who were some of the other Bond girls that you know? Like Halle Berry, she became one.
See, the first woman of color Bond lady is Lee Jefferson, or as you call her, Lee Forbes.
Okay.
She became a bunny. Her name is Lee Forbes. She's Jamaican. And the first Bond movie was Dr. No.
Right.
She was in that.
Got you.
So the first Bond movie with the first Bond actress, Ursula Andress, and she's the first woman of color,
Wow.
Lee Forbes. And we were bunnies together, and she kept telling me, Gloria, I was in that movie, and I got credit for it. I'm gonna send it to you. And she's been telling me for years, and I keep forgetting. And I said, Lee, I'm going to announce that everywhere I go. And then after that, the next one was the seventh one later, or sixth later, was Trina Parks.
Right.
And she played, I think, Thumper or Bumper.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Please forgive me.
That's okay.
And she choreographed her part,
Right.
Trina. And do you know they didn't even have a credit for her?
Good grief.
For years, they didn't have credit for her. And I, as the time went by, and I knew, and she told me, she was the one before me because I did Live and Let Die. She did Diamonds Are Forever, which was the last one that Sean Connery
Right, Sean
did.
Connery, yes.
He said, this is it, I've had it.
Times have changed, haven't they?
Yes.
For actors and actresses now.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we got
saw-
robots doing our roles now.
Is that right?
Yeah. Is that, they can assimilate like I don't know why.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Indeed, yeah. 1973 was a very good year for you. In fact, that year you had Black
right.
Caesar, Live and Let Die, Slaughter's Big Ripoff, Love American Style, and Hell Up in Harlem.
I was so tired. I was so tired. I was exhausted. As a matter of fact, I was working so much. It really was. And I
Yes.
thought I had arrived,
Yes,
unbeknownst to me.
gotcha. Black exploitation, you were in that era. Define black exploitation for people who don't know what that means.
Well, first of all, we actors, Ron O'Neill, who did Superfly,
Right.
and Melvin Van Peebles, who brought home black, what was the name of that movie? That
Black
Sweetback
Sweetback.
Badass
Yeah,
Song.
Badass
Right.
Song, yes.
That's right.
Yes.
He brought that home, and from Europe. He said, I got to go home because this is the time, because they started, beta, video, and he shot that in video, and he came home, and honey, it was a blast. People were coming out of everywhere, and during that time, the studios were suffering.
Wow.
They were not making money. They were losing money. And that was basically the reason why how we got in. But the main reason why we got in is because they were able to go to the theaters themselves with the tape under their arm and said, here, play it. And they went to house after house, play it. And people were curious because they hadn't seen us as a mass of people. And during that time, it was a backlash of, the racial situation that was going on and the riots, et cetera, out of the 60s into the 70s. And we got a hold of that video. It was like, yeah, baby. And Superfly became a classic as well.
Yes.
And we were sleeping on our floors during that time. I mean, it wasn't even, was it Union? Even if it was, but I guess they picked it up. I don't know how it happened. But I know Black Caesar, yes, it was Union, because Larry Cohen, fantastic, the famous Larry Cohen. He's known for that that thriller, that horror movie. I think it was Thin or something like that.
Okay.
I think we need to look it up. Please forgive me, Larry. But he was the director and the writer of Black Caesar.
Black Caesar. Okay.
Which put it on the map,
Put it on
and Turner Classics made it a classic, as well as Black Belt Jones. The studio picked up Black Belt Jones as a feature and sanctioned it to be Union, and Hell Up in Harlem, same, but it was a hell of a time. We slept on the floor. We had no time. I mean, all day we would stay on the set, and we were sleeping on the floor. We got our food. We put our makeup on. I had no makeup artist because during that time, makeup for my skin, you got to be kidding. We use cocoa. To use cocoa on our complexion. I stayed in the sun a lot. In Live and Let Die, they thought that as I've gotten older, I've gotten lighter because I'm not in the sun like I used to be.
I see.
So we used cocoa or anything that we could use to put makeup on and combine it with maybe some powder and make our little stuff up. And you know, we did what we could do, you know, and pencils. I mean, we did what we could do. I mean, I marvel at us.
Yes.
And we also used baby powder for powder, and then douse a little water sort of blend in with the whatever we had on.
Wow.
I mean, it was a time we had to create our own makeup. And because the makeup had white under it and gave us an ash look, and so if you notice, some of us look pretty ashy at times.
Yes.
Yeah, because of that.
Okay, that's how it was done.
Yeah.
You mentioned hell up in Harlem. When you say Harlem, you have to get you get my attention. I was born and raised in Harlem.
Right.
Harlem Hospital.
Okay.
Let's take a look at a trailer. Roll it.
Yeah.
The Godfather of Harlem is doing it again. In Black Caesar, he ate up the town. Now, he's hungry for more. More action. More excitement. More everything.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Isn't it great to be in America?
Fred Williamson is back, and there's gonna be hell up in Harlem.
Wow, brought back some memories.
Oh, yeah.
I understand that there's going to be a Superfly 2019 that's coming out.
Somebody's copying us, I tell you.
Yes,
it was such a
indeed.
hell of a time back then. The teachers, the churches, the mothers, the mothers, a lot of women. I mean, the communities rose up against these black movies because we were portraying the worst of us. But that was what was getting over.
Right.
You know, Five on the Black Hand Side didn't make that kind of money.
Bring back a lot of memories.
Didn't it bring that kind of money
Yes.
that Black Belt Jones or Slaughter's Big Ripoff, you know, etc. with Jim Brown? I starred in that with him, our famous football player, Jim Brown. But, you know, we went the way we said we need to get our stars planted.
Right.
We knew that. We need to get our stars planted where we could command the money. And the only one that really could command a lot of money was Fred Williamson.
Right.
When he produced his movies, he had a bank behind him.
Wow.
Very few of us could do that.
Yes.
And enough of us make enough money and direct our own stuff and write our own stuff that we can really get in. Well, everything hit around 75, like the doors shut on us. And a lot of us went down. Some of us committed suicide. Some of us are living in the streets still today. Some of us lost everything we had. And some of us went on to other careers and angry as hell. And some of us said, okay, I'll do my second career, but I'll produce my stuff when I can. And that's what I've been doing all these years. I've been producing my own plays, producing my own shows. I don't need to have a big whole stage like Live and Let Die.
Right.
I love my art. I love my craft.
Right.
I've written musicals. I've written dramatic plays. Right now I'm producing a tribute to Songs of Bond. I'll be at the Catalina Bar and Grill with my 18-piece orchestra.
When is this?
The 17th of April.
All right.
And matter of fact, I left that bag in the car.
Okay.
The 17th of April. And yeah, and I'm doing that. I produce that. And, you know, I've been working on that for a couple of years. And that's how I do it. You know, I just move along. And I go out and do memorabilia all over the world. And people bless me. My fans have really blessed me.
Yes.
They continue to nurture me and say, you're the first. And I'm like, no, I'm not the first. Lee Forbes is the first. And let's name them. One thing I'll say about the Bond family, they've been universal.
Yes.
They started off that way.
Yes.
And so they've shot in Jamaica so many times, or in the islands numerous of times. So to say whether or not we had stars of us, I go along with that. I really will. And also more women to be leading, yeah, I go along with that. But to say they absolutely were not nurturing,
Right.
you know, all hues.
Right.
That's not true.
Wow.
You know, and kudos to them because
Yes.
they're also trying to survive
Yes.
with the temperature out here. It's a wonderful bunch of people, I really have to say. And they continue to nurture me, that is, to keep me a part of Bond. And my part wasn't that large to me. And I'm still like, I starred in it. They treated me like a star. Limousines and clothes and wardrobe, and I live well in penthouses and maids and everything. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? I had a car driver. I mean, they just treated me so well.
I wish we had more time. God, I wish we had more time. We could talk forever and ever. Can I have your right hand, please?
Yes.
This is my trademark that I give people for good luck. God bless you and thank you for what you did for us. You did a lot of great work. There's one more thing I have for you. Gloria?
Oh,
just for you, my dear.
that
Just
is
for you.
so
Thank
wonderful.
you so much.
The thought, and this is like, thank you.
You're welcome.
And my birthday is in March.
Oh, okay.
I'll
All
take
right.
this.
We'll take it as a birthday
Thank
gift.
you so much.
Thank you. So we got to take a break. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Gloria Hendry, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. The studio of Harry Brandman Photography as an art is proud to offer you a $100 discount off a photo package valued at $300 or more. Now, Harvey's been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century, and he certainly knows how to take care of his customers. So please, give him a call today at 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. You'll be glad you did. And by the way, please tell Harvey that you heard his offer right here on The Actor's Choice. 5150 the book. It's the release from author and attorney Ron Irwin. As a young Marine, Irwin said he spent 13 months in Chu Lai, Republic of Vietnam. His experience, where nearly 3 million Americans went to war, was, as he puts it, 5150. The book is currently available in paperback at lulu.com, and Irwin says he'll give 20% of net book sales split evenly between the veterans of foreign wars and Vietnam veterans of America. Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. It's a new book by author Larry Buford. It's a historical and faith-based account of how what we do and follow today will affect us tomorrow. The author also calls it an adventure for those who want to travel back through time. The book is now available in paperback for only $17.95 from Amazon. So please get your copy today. And now a word from State Farm agent Carla Green.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because the State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just 4 walls and 4 wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Let me help you with that. Give me a call. State Farm agent Carla Green, 213-239-9675. I look forward to speaking with you.
Thanks, Carla. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. For more information, call 213-239-9675. That's 213-239-9675. Attention all Marvin Gaye fans. If you remember I told you that Marvin was going to get a U.S. postage stamp, well, guess what? It's good. The stamp will be unveiled to the public on Tuesday, April 2nd at 11 a.m. at the Greek Theater right here in Los Angeles. And by the way, Marvin would have been 80 years old this coming April 2nd. You know the Greek holds nearly 6,000 people, so you're invited to come to the ceremony. Open to the public, free, first come, first served. So please, here's what you do. Go to usps.com/Marvin Gaye. That's usps.com Marvin Gaye to come and enjoy people as Marvin Gaye, the Prince of Motown, gets a stamp on Tuesday, April 2nd, 11 a.m. at the Greek Theater. I'll see you there. And by the way, Gloria told us that she has a book out called Gloria.
Bond and All.
Bond and All.
On Amazon.
On Amazon. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And finally, if you have a product, a service, or an upcoming event that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please call 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Our prices are very affordable. This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. My next guest is a longtime friend, colleague, and a true professional celebrity photographer. He's been seen on the red carpets of the HAL Awards, the Stella Awards, Soul Train Music Awards, NAACP Image Awards, Celebration of Gospel, and many, many more. Hailing from Gary, Indiana, when you see him at an event or a red carpet, you always see two things: a big smile and a camera slung over his shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Richard Darryl Nichols.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks
you,
sir.
For having
Thank
me.
you for coming here. Wouldn't have it no other way. I see you got your talent from Gary, Indiana, huh?
The best place in the world.
Hung out with the Jacksons, didn't you?
Just for a minute. I grew up with the Jacksons. I lived down the street from the Jacksons. As a matter of fact, our neighborhood right now is a national historical neighborhood. That because of that house that sits on 2300 Jackson Street.
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
And so I would like to say, yeah, I'll give a shout out to all the people from Gary, Indiana. My high school, Gary Roosevelt. The church that I grew up in is Christian Valley Missionary Baptist Church.
Okay.
My second church, Friendship, New Friendship Baptist Church. All these people were part of my life, and they helped me to be who I am today.
Thank you.
My family and all.
When I read your resume, quite a story that you've done. We've known you for a long time. We always see, like I say, the smile in the camera. We always see it. But how and when did you become interested in photography?
I would say all my life, probably in second grade, I noticed I didn't have a photo of me as a baby. I don't know how I looked. I don't know if I was an old baby or just a good-looking baby. You know, an old baby is when you look at the baby, you say, oh. But I didn't know. And so in second grade, I didn't notice. I noticed I didn't have a picture of me. The first picture I had was the kindergarten picture.
Okay.
So in second grade, I picked up a camera and just started taking pictures. Took pictures of everything, everybody. My family would say, "Get out of my face with that picture, with that cameras." But up until I'd say in my senior year in high school, I was part of the photography club, and I really got interested in the Canon camera.
Yes, Canon.
Right.
Good camera.
Good camera. I still have a Canon now, 5D, Mark III.
All right. Photography is one of my hobbies, and I love the cameras and equipment that we have right now. But Richard, did you ever think that you'd be here in Hollywood, rubbing shoulders with the stars?
You know, I never thought I would come to Los Angeles until 1974. William Marshall, the black actress, his mother lived 2300 Jefferson Street, which was one street over from my street, Madison. And he would always come to Gary and visit his mother. And he graduated from the high school that I graduated from. I graduated in '74. He came to our homecoming. And so, you know, when he came to the homecoming, he spent a whole week with us. I said, I want to go to Hollywood to be an actor. That's what I told him. But I really didn't have a thought in my mind going to Hollywood to be an actor. So to answer your question, no, I never thought I would be around some of the celebrities that I am around now. And I would say like Berry Gordy. Whoever thought that I could touch Berry Gordy? Or any of the Temptations, Aretha Franklin, Lou Rawls. I never thought that. Yes. And then when it happened, you know, I'm taking their pictures, I'm in my element, and you have to be professional. But I said, this is Berry Gordy, this is Aretha Franklin. But you still have to calm down and remember where you are. Ron Brewington.
I'm not a star, but I'm working on it.
Oh, you're there.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Tell us a story, like what's it like being on the red carpet?
Like I said, you have to try to be professional. And then when you see a person, like my favorite celebrity is Gladys Knight.
Hey.
And so you take her picture and then you say, Gladys, you're the favorite person on this planet.
They like to hear that.
Right.
There's a star right there. They like to hear that.
So yeah, I mean, you try to get, you don't try to get personal, but you know, you just stay in your place.
Stay in place, yeah, I understand.
But being on the red carpet, you take pictures and you say, well, that's the shot I need, or this is the shot I want, or I have that shot. And you just be cognizant of what's going on around you. Yes. And I would like to say I really respect the other photographers, Earl Gibson, Ian Fox.
Ian Fox, yes, so yes.
Arnold Turner. You look at them, at least I would watch them and see how they are moving around on the red carpet, because there are certain manners you should have on the red carpet.
Exactly.
And I usually get in the background and see what, take their lead, see how they're shooting.
Right. You're not on the street anymore. You're doing full-time professional work.
Right, right. And so you have to have respect for other photographers when they're getting their shot. Bill Jones.
Bill Jones, the late Bill Jones.
The late Bill Jones.
Great man.
When he was on the red carpet, everybody said, step back. Let Bill get that shot.
Get that shot. Oh, yeah, we miss Bill Jones. He was a great one.
Right. I would say my mentor, Rochelle Porter.
Yes.
She actually got me started in this business. And Rochelle would tell me where to go. And I got a press pass from my friend Tommy Morrow, who owns the Inland Valley newspaper in Upland. So he would always, as a matter of fact, he put me on as a staff photographer on his paper.
Yes.
So he would send me different places. But those people helped me. Naomi Rich is out of Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Kim Webster, Robert Earl. Robert Turner. Yeah, all of these people, believe it or not, those are my role models. You know, you have to look at people and see how they're maneuvering on the red carpet, and then you say, oh, I can do this.
Interesting. How do you prepare for an event? You know that you're going to do this on this date, this place, and time. But in your mind, how do you prepare your mind and get your equipment ready?
The first thing, I let my wife know I'm going.
Okay.
No, my wife said that she says I am a groupie, but I have to correct her. I'm a professional groupie.
Thank you. There's two kinds of groupie: professional and unprofessional.
Right. But basically, when at home, I get all of my equipment together.
Yes.
The worst thing you could happen is you get on the red carpet and you don't have a battery in your camera. And that happened with me at Barbara Allen's celebration. I got everything together. You have to have your flash. You make sure you have enough batteries, your flash, and your SD card. That chip that you put in, that's like a motor without, a car without a motor. A head without a brain. And I have forgotten to take SDM cards with me.
Right.
So that's how I prepare to make sure I have a checklist.
Yes.
And to make sure that I have everything in that bag and it's working, charged, all the batteries are charged. I have extra batteries and make sure they are charged. And then you prepare depending on what event you're going to.
Right.
My mother say, always stay in a black suit because you'll look good.
Your mother was right. God bless her.
And no matter where I go, I usually try to wear a black suit.
Yes, that's it. You're looking good.
Oh, thank you.
When I was in the Navy, I remember we used to have an expression that we would call the 7 Ps. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
Exactly.
So you always stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And that was a lesson learned for you. That you never broke that record again. Make sure you take 2 batteries with you just in case.
Right, 3.
Just, 3. Thank you. Thank you. What's it out there, competing for the shot? I mean, when you get a bunch of photographers together, they all working, they might love you as a buddy.
Right,
5 seconds later, when that star walks out there, they're all over, get that shot, get that this way, this way, this way. What do you do in a situation?
Well, like I said, with these veterans photographers, usually I let them get their shots first.
Okay.
And then
what if you don't have the time to do it? You only get one quick shot and that's it?
Well, then I'd step in and get my shot.
Right.
Now, when you're on the red carpet, usually the PR company put you in a certain spot.
Right, put your name down on the ground, yeah.
And sometimes you might be in a bad spot. So if you're in a bad spot, be able to move. And usually I go to the end of the carpet, where people are not fighting for a shot.
Yeah. Fighting for that shot, wow. There's a lot of education and training needed to become a photog. Can you tell us about that place?
Well, basically I did take a couple of classes when I was in college, and I used the photo club in high school to do experience. And so I was almost not self-taught, but just getting out there taking pictures, just doing it myself. And now with computers and the chip, you can take as many pictures you want, delete the pictures that you don't like, or just keep them. And that's what I do. I just take and shoot at different settings to see what is a good. Sometimes you make a mistake, and that mistake is a good picture.
That's right. Yeah. Then they're the paparazzi. You're not considered paparazzi, are you?
No, because a lot of people don't like paparazzi, and I want to be a good guy.
Okay.
But if I see someone in the streets, I will take that.
You can make some money.
Oh yeah, you
can.
can.
Picture, right? Have the right picture.
That's the right shot.
Yeah.
For example, when Whitney Houston died.
Yes.
The 2 days before that, she was at the Kelly Price party. Yeah. And there are shots. I had a shot, and I tried to submit it to TMZ.
TMZ, yes.
And they said
it's 11.
They said so many people have sent that shot in. We don't need that. So you have to have the right shot, the unusual, the unique shot for them to want that. And that's what you usually try to get.
And photographers, some photographers will go through all kind of lengths to get that picture.
Exactly.
Wow. Back to education. Education, I know, means a lot to you.
It does.
You recently retired as an educator after 40 years?
40.
Wow, 40. Wow. That was interesting. Tell us about 40 years of being an educator.
Oh, I have so many great experience. When I would go to what we call work, it was like having fun going to a party. And I taught severely handicapped students. Okay. So I would go basically to try to entertain, try to make them feel a part of society, give them the quality of life. So I would entertain them. But my education philosophy, I guess, developed through my mother, who had a 3rd grade education. And she would always say, go to school and get a good education. And I was going to school and I said, what is a good education? You know, you hear that. But I knew in 2nd grade that I had to go to college because that was drilled that we were going to college. And I found out going to college gave you a tool.
Yes.
Education is a tool that you can use to do almost anything in the world. If you don't have that training in a certain area, being educated helps you be more able to get training. You're prepared, you know how to get the training. So education is important. I try to stress that to young people now, that no matter what you do, you might get a degree in psychology, but you might not work as a psychologist or something, but you'll be able to use those steps, that learning, within any area you go to.
Right. I should mention that you have both a bachelor and a master's degree.
God was good to me. It was free education.
Right.
For my master's, we had a blizzard in Gary, and I was in Gary, but I went to Ball State in Muncie, Indiana. And so my girlfriend was still in Muncie. So the city was shut down, but I still got on the freeway and went to see my girlfriend. But to make a long story short, my professor, Dr. Charles Payne, saw me walking across campus. And he asked, what are you doing down here? And I said, well, I had to come see my girl. He said, well, if I give you a graduate fellowship, would you come back and work on your master's? And why wouldn't I go get a free education and still be with my girlfriend?
Good. Everything worked out right.
It did.
And what your mother said worked out, definitely.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing. Now, you are the 8th of 12 children?
We love it.
That's a football team.
She was trying to get it together, I guess, and after they found me, no, I'm just, they kept going. But yes, my family is part of, you know, they helped me be who I am, believe it or not. It was like being on stage, perform. We had to perform in the house. We always had everybody come into the house playing games. And, you know, I do bid whist, so whenever we clear the table, we had to play some bid whist.
Did you say bid whist? Would you
bid whist.
Please explain that, please.
Oh, you know, that's a card game. They said it was developed in Turkey, and it was brought over to the United States. And believe it or not, you have different terms in bid whist, like going to Boston.
Go to Boston.
And they said it was because of the Pullman porters. They would play bid whist from, I think it was Alabama, and the last stop going up ended up in Boston. So that means that you went all the way. And when you get all the books, they call that a Boston.
Get out of here. Now, you're the founder of the San Gabriel Bid Whist Club in 1993?
1993. Wow. I had moved from Los Angeles to a city called Valinda, near West Covina. And I found me a church,
Right.
St. Stephen Missionary Baptist Church.
Right.
And it was predominantly black.
Okay.
And so I said, man, I can't find anyone to play bid with. And then we had our church picnic, and someone pulled out some cards and started, what? So I said, I got the idea of maybe we start a club and we can get together and enjoy the card game a bit with. But getting back to education, you have to party with a purpose. I said, I don't want to just get together and play bid with, so let's start a scholarship fund. And that's what I did. We started a scholarship fund. What we do when you come and play bid with, you get $5 and you put that in the kitty.
Hey.
And at the end, we have a tournament in June, and we usually give out scholarships. This is our 25th year, and we've given over $20,000 to high school seniors.
And what's the name of that organization again?
It's the San Gabriel Valley Bid Whist Club.
I hope some people listening and watching can get
We play every fourth Saturday.
Every fourth Saturday.
Like this coming
Saturday. Is there a telephone
Saturday.
number someone can get in touch with you so they can get in that organization?
That's 909-210-6999.
Repeat that again, please.
909-210-6999.
Outstanding, outstanding. I got to give a plug here. You are a member, 44 years of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity.
Q Psi Phi till the day I die. Yes, I enjoy. Now, believe me, I have developed friendships from 44 years ago to this day. And some of these people I haven't seen in 40 years or 30 years, but we can get on the phone and we can pick up where we left off or even add to what we're doing now. In my organization, I would like to say I'm part of Pyro chapter of Riverside, and we are about the community, service to the community, and we're trying to service the young people. We always have a youth leadership conference. We just had one in Laverne on Saturday where we're trying to get the students prepared for the future.
Wow.
To get them to know how to get prepared, go to different educational resources. We bring the resources to them.
Right. Now, you and your wife, you all been married how many years now?
32 years.
32 years.
Yes. Praise the Lord, everybody.
Praise the Lord. Yes, praise the Lord. My goodness. Richard, I take my hat off to you. We only got a few more minutes, but we've got some pictures. We asked you to bring some pictures for us. Tony, can you run a few, and can you tell us who's in those pictures? These are the pictures you took.
Sure. That's D.
Go ahead.
That's Dee Kelly. She's one of the top makeup artists in Hollywood.
Okay.
Dee Kelly, D.D. Kelly, that's her name. And that's Rosalind Broth. She was the chairperson of the NAACP, and so she had done the makeup for Rosalind. And they on the NAACP red carpet.
Okay. Who's the guy on the side?
Now that's Bobby Womack.
Bobby B. Yes.
He was at a concert for the Temptation. Dennis Edwards in the Temptation Review.
Unfortunately, we lost him. Good
Yes.
man.
That's
one on the right is the one you're looking at. Picture on the right. Okay.
That's Charlie Wilson, Angela Bassett, and Supervisor Yvonne Birthwork. And that was a celebration of Black History at the City Hall in Los Angeles.
All right.
Oh, George Dugan. That was at Jesse Jackson's birthday party. And I mean, that was maybe a year before he passed, and I was so glad I was able to get that. And he was so gracious to let me take a picture with him.
Indeed.
And of course, that's Miss Debbie Allen. We're at the Friends Fuller Gordy bowling tournament.
Yes.
And we're on the red carpet there.
Okay.
And there's my idol. I asked Maxine Waters, Congresswoman, when she was state representative, Assemblywoman, to run for governor.
Right. Marvelous lady.
Miss Maxine.
Yes.
And Miss Sherry Payne.
Former Supremes.
Former Supreme, Sister Frida Payne, one of the nicest person in the world. I love whenever she said, Richard! And of course, my homeboy, Ernest Thomas.
Ernest Thomas from
He's
Gary,
from
Indiana.
Gary, Indiana. I didn't meet Ernest, though, until I came out here. But his grandmother was a charter member of my church in Gary, and his mother attended the church. So when I saw him at a basketball, celebrity basketball, I said, I know your mother. And we've been friends ever since then.
Wow.
And there, Beverly Todd, Mary Wilson, a friend of Mary Wilson. Okay. We were at the United Children Oscar viewing party. Wow. Mm. And this is Lou Rawls and Aretha Franklin. We were at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio, and they had a tribute to Sam Cooke. And one night was rock and roll, and the next night was gospel. And this was taken like a month before Lou Rawls died.
My gosh. Mm-hmm.
So that was a great event.
Yes. Richard, you have a gift that God gave you. You have a talent. We thank you very, very much. May I have your right hand, please? Your right hand? Because you don't get the same thing she always gives. I always give people a silver dollar for good luck.
I still have mine. You gave me about 10 years ago. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, and thank you for what you've done for a lot of people. Every time I see you, big smile and a camera.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I want to make special thanks to our sponsors, Harvey Brandman, Photography as an Art, Ron Irwin, 5150 The Book, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, and State Farm agent Carla Green. Much thanks to our guest today, veteran actress Gloria Hendry and celebrity photographer Richard Nichols. There's a Darryl in it. There's a Darryl. Richard Darryl Nichols. Let me get that right. And to our ever-growing audience, we thank you so much. We'll be back next time. Take care.